All right, how's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's doing well. We'll wait a few minutes to give people a chance to pop in and say hi. Let's see now. What do we have? Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Come on, Scooby-Doo, I see you, pretending you got a sliver. But you're not fooling me, 'cause I can see the way you shake and shiver. You know you got a mystery to solve, so Scooby-Doo, be ready for your act. Don't hold back. And Scooby-Doo, you're gonna have yourself a Scooby snack. That's a fact. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, here are you. Ready and you're willing. We can count on you, be Scooby-Doo. You know we'll catch that villain. Sometimes some crimes go slipping through the cracks, but these two gumshoes are picking up the slack. There's no case too big, no case too small. When you need help, just call Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. And it'll move red and white and blue. Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Formaldehyde. Darkwing Duck. Better watch out, you bad boy. Darkwing Duck. Oh-ee-ay, tailspin. Oh-ee-oh, tailspin. Friends for life through thick and thin with another tailspin. Oh-ee-ay, tailspin. Oh-ee-oh, tailspin. Friends for life through thick and thin with another tailspin. Oh-ee-ay, tailspin. Oh-ee-oh, tailspin. Friends for life through thick and thin with another tailspin. Oh-ee-ay, tailspin. Oh-ee-oh, tailspin. Friends for life through thick and thin with another tailspin. Let's see now. Like father, like son, you're always number one. Yeah, there's buddies, they're pals. You always seem to work things out. Can't you see they're two of a kind? Looking for a real good time. Report to the goof troop, and we're always stick together. Yeah, with a goof troop, best of friends forever. Yeah, with a goof troop, and we always stick together. Yeah, with a goof troop, best of friends forever. Now we're calling everyone. Come along and join the fun. Report to the goof troop. Bop, bop, loo, bop, boop, bop. Yeah. Hello. All right, look like we have two people watching now, so that's good to see. So how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Hope things are going well for you. And they dropped out again. Anyways. So when Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who oppose his shield must yield. In the red and the white and the blue it comes true when Captain America throws his mighty shield. Tony Stark makes you feel he's a cool exec with the hottest wheels as Iron Man. All jets of flame, he fights and fights with repulsor rays. Amazing power, it's Iron Man. Amazing power, it's Iron Man. Doc Bruce Banner, pelted by gamma rays, turned into Hulk. Ain't he just glamoring? Wrecking the town with the powerful, ain't some monster found who isn't lovable, the ever-loving Hulk. Hulk. Let's see, cross the rainbow bridge of Asgard, where the blue means heaven's roar. And behold, incredulous wonder, the god of thunder, mighty Thor. Stronger than a whale, he can swim anywhere, he can breathe underwater and go flying through the air. Noble submariner, prince of the deep, so beware deadly demons. Lord Namor of Atlantis is the prince of the deep. Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Welcome is, he is yours. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big hang-up. Wherever there's a hang-up, you'll find a Spider-Man. Keep on fall. I know. Okay, I hadn't seen anybody else on, so I was just reminding you. RJ, thanks for popping in there. I didn't see any other like I saw a second person for a second there, but then they disappeared on me, so I was just trying to spark something there. Anyways, well, we're getting pretty close. So what? 7.5 minute mark. Now we have at least 2 people. So, all right. So what's on tap for tonight? I got 11 articles to go through tonight. 6 anime related, 5 comics related. All the articles I'll be reading from are from CBR. Plus, some wrestling news as well. So, without any further ado, why don't we go ahead and get going here on these? So, anyways, should I get these up here? And I do thank you for the like and the share. Hopefully, we get some more friendly people in here soon. Anyways, now since we have a few more anime related stories, of course, we're going to start off with anime tonight. It's, as I said, 6 anime related stories and 5 comic related stories. So, but these usually tend to go pretty quick most of the time. So, anyways, without any further ado, let's get ourselves started here then. Alrighty then. Alright, so what to expect from the Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest anime? Fairy Tail sequel manga is expected to receive an anime adaptation soon. Here's everything anime fans need to know about the series going in. Article by Mark York, published 12 hours ago. There's an entire cast of, or the at least the guild of Fairy Tail. In July 2018, an official continuation of Hiro Mashima's hit series Fairy Tail began serialization. In September 2021, an official announcement was made for an anime adaptation of this sequel series. Considering how Fairy Tail in its heyday was a rival in popularity to the big 3 of Shonen Jump, there's no telling how well 100 Years Quest will do. Assuming it does anywhere near as well as its predecessor, it would be good to know what this series is about. So it's going to give us a little bit of a a little bit of a hint at what this we have to look forward to with this. The series picks up where the original fairy tale left off. Natsu, Lucy, Gray, Urza, Wendy, Happy, and Carla have all embarked on a 100 years quest in the northern continent of uh, Giltina. As the title implies, the job is so difficult that nobody's been able to complete it in at least a century. Regardless, in classic fairy tale fashion, Natsu is confident that he can succeed with the help of his friends. And then there's, of course, the trailer if you want to go see it on YouTube. The mission is to seal the 5 dragon gods. These 5 dragons are so powerful that each one of them has the potential to wreak havoc on a global scale. This puts them all on the same level of threat as Acnologia of the previous series. As difficult as sealing these dragon gods sounds, they're not the only challenge that Natsu and company had to face. Back home, a new mage by the name of Toka has joined the Fairy Tale Guild in hopes of meeting Natsu. She seems like a nice fit for the guild at first, but she's apparently hiding a darker side. Tolka has another personality living inside of her called the White Mage. This dangerous being apparently has the ability to steal and erase the magic of others. If the 5 dragon gods are the Acnologia of 100 Years Quest, then the White Witch would be the Zareth of this series, and she's referred to as such. Wow. You got some pretty powerful stuff going on there, that's for sure. I've seen the previous fairy tale series, so I know exactly what they're talking about here. As if all of this wasn't bad enough, there's one more major antagonistic faction in 100 Years Quest. While trying to seal the 5 dragon gods, Natsu and his friends find themselves at odds with Diablos, the local guild of Giltana. Is comprised entirely of 5th-generation dragon slayers. They gain their abilities by either eating dragons or cannibalizing other dragon slayers. Which, if I recall correctly, I think Natsu is. I think he might be considered a dragon slayer. Naturally, they've developed a craving for dragon god meat. While eating the dragon gods would be a good way to stop them from destroying the world, it's not necessarily what Natsu and the others want. The dragon gods may be dangerous, but that doesn't mean they're all evil. Some of them are even benevolent. Since the goal is to seal, in quotes, the dragon gods and not, quote, slay them, quote unquote, slay them, um, Natsu and his friends would like to complete the task as assigned. They can help it. In any case, Diablos doesn't exactly have the best of intentions, so it would be best if they didn't get the Dragon God's powers. There's another look at the group that's panned out. Natsu, Wendy, their 2 cat friends, Happy and Carla, got Lucy, um, one of her little celestial spirits, Urza and Gray. Let's see now. Let's see if this is okay. Besides antagonist, 100 Years Quest should have plenty of things to keep veteran fairy tale fans happy. There will be plenty of cameos from old characters, callbacks to the original series, comedy, fan service, action, and everything else that gave Fairy Tale its unique charm. Um, Anyone who was a fan of Fairy Tale will likely get fired up watching 100 Years Quest. Whenever it comes out, the Fairy Tale 100 Years Quest anime should generate a large following. It will bring back fans of the original Fairy Tale while winning over newer anime fans with its exhilarating action and likable characters. As long the anime can capture the magic of the manga, it should be met with great success. And I would agree with that. Of course, if Funimation chooses to localize it again, if they can keep their own political opinions out of the writing, then that will also help keep it a success. So, anyways, get ready to move on to the next article now. And of course, I know I didn't say this earlier, but as always, if anything here catches your interest in turn, either you have a comment you want to add to the conversation, or you want to ask about anything, feel free to do so. And if it's a question, if I can answer the question, I'll do my best to do so. Anyways, I've got to go off camera for a moment because my dog is apparently acting up again. I will be right back. But while I'm gone, I will leave you guys some music to listen to. In the interim, I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. Sometimes the dog barks and you got to deal with it. Anyways, let's get back to the articles here. Moving on to the next article here. Let's see. Exclusive Webtoon debuts gorgeous art for True Beauty's print edition. Webtoon Unscrolled reveals the cover art, first 5 pages from the upcoming print edition of the popular rom-com True Beauty. Article by C.M. Ramsberg, published 12 hours ago. So here are some of the characters from that rom-com, I guess. Webtoon Unscrolled revealed a first look at the cover art for True Beauty's upcoming graphic novel adaptation of the hit webcomic. The new graphic novel imprint was established to bring the most popular webtoon titles to the hands of fans everywhere in a physical format. As one of the most popular webtoon series ever, with over 5 billion reads on the digital platform, True Beauty is one of the first of several planned series to receive a graphic novel adaptation. Created by South Korean comic artist Yeongi, 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 True Beauty tells a captivating story of romance and self discovery through beautiful artwork reflected in the graphic novel's new cover art. Along with the cover reveal, Webtoon provided CBR with the first 5 pages of True Beauty's print adaptation. Yes, here are some of the images here. Of course, the English translations here. And she's a pretty lady there. Yaun Yi. 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 Try saying that one 3 times fast. Webtoon describes the story of True Beauty as follows. Jungyong Lin has been treated unfairly by her family and bullied by her enemies due to being perceived as ugly. She learns how to use makeup by binge watching YouTube tutorials. Huh, that's interesting. As she slowly masters the art of makeovers, her dramatic transformation leads to her overwhelming popularity and fame. Wow, talk about the ugly duckling story, huh? Wow, that'd be interesting. As we continue on. Let's see. Armed with her newfound beauty, Jung is in a love triangle with two of the most handsome boys at school. Suho, the stoic mystery man who knows her secret, and Sojun, the quote unquote bad boy, but will her elite status be short lived? How long can she keep her true appearance a secret? Living in a society where people are judged based on their physical appearance, Jung Yong navigates both high school and her college life, while her self esteem, romantic life, and career are constantly in flux. True Beauty's upcoming graphic novel isn't the series' first high profile adaptation to another form of media. The romance series received a popular live action K drama adaptation in 2020. The 16 episode drama starred Moon Ga Young as Jung Young and Cha Eun Woo as Suho. There is also a featured film based on True Beauty, currently in development, with more details expected at a later date. The hit romance series will not be the only webtoon title to receive a physical release from the webtoon Unsquirreled imprint. The imprint aims to publish 12 webtoon titles a year to make their content more accessible to readers who consume content in various formats. Fans can expect to see some of their favorite titles join physical bookshelves, like Tower of God by Sui and Cursed Princess Club by Lamcat. Release dates for True Beauty and other upcoming Webtoon graphic novel adaptations that will be published by Webtoon Unsquirreled will be announced at a later date. Oh, there we go with that one. So, as we prepare to move on to the next. Here we go. Here's the next one we're going to look at here. And we have a news item about another live action adaptation of an anime here. Again, feel free to comment or ask questions if you'd like, if anything catches your attention. And if I can answer the question, I'll do my best to do so. Fullmetal Alchemist live action footage features Envy, King Bradley, and more. New clips from the two upcoming live action Fullmetal Alchemist movies highlight characters such as von Hohenheim, Lan Fan, King Bradley, and more. Article by Michael Lacerna, published 9 hours ago. Here's some of the live action stuff here. Fullmetal Alchemist revealed new clips of the two upcoming movies supporting characters antagonists. The official Twitter account for the live action FMA movie series released a number of short trailers that are each focused on a single member of the story supporting cast. The first two trailers showcase the Qing prince Ling Yao and his retainer Lan Fan, who travel to the country of Amestris in order to track down the Philosopher's Stone, the same artifact that the Elric brothers and many of the series' villains are after. The third trailer focuses on von Hohenheim, Edward and Alphonse's estranged father, who mysteriously disappeared when they were young. The final two trailers highlight two of the series' villains, King Bradley, the leader of Amestris military forces, and Envy, a shape-shifting homunculus who harbors a bitter resentment towards humanity. The two new movies, entitled The Vengeance of Scar and The Last Transmutation, serve as direct sequels to the FMA's first live-action film, which was released in 2017. The movies are a slightly late addition to the celebration surrounding the 20th anniversary of the original publication of the Fullmetal Alchemist manga, which first premiered in 2001. So the 20-year mark would have been 2021. Vengeance of Scar will premiere in Japan on May 20th, which will be 2 weeks from this Friday, while The Last Transmutation will be released on June 24th. A release outside of Japan for both movies has yet to be announced. Let's see. Ryosuke Yamada and Otomo Mizuichi, who played the siblings Edward and Alphonse in the first movie, will both return to once again portray the Elric siblings. Also returning is Dean Fujioka, who anime fans may remember as the musician behind Yuri on Ice theme song, who portrays the fan favorite Flame Alchemist, Roy Mustang, in live action. Tsubasa Honda from Weathering with You will also reprise her role as Ed and Al's childhood friend, Winry Rockbell. Ping Pong director Fumihiko Sori also returned to direct both movies. Fullmetal Alchemist was created by Hiromu Arakawa and was one of the most popular and acclaimed titles of the early 2000s. In addition to the new live action movies, a manga was adapted into an anime twice. The first show premiered in 2003 and diverges wildly from the source material, while 2009's Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood was created to be a more direct adaptation of Arakawa's original work. Both shows are now streaming on Hulu and Crunchyroll, while Arakawa's manga is available in English from Viz Media and Yen Press. So there we go with that one. And Chloe's at it again. All right, I've got to go deal with her. I'll be right back, guys. But first of all, let me take care of this real quick. Okay. Anyways, I'll be right back. I gotta go deal with the dog. So, for you, I'll be right back. Anime to live action never goes well. Yeah, look, at least from what we've been seeing of late. I mean, I think everybody knows about the Cowboy Bebop live action attempt. So yeah, not much that goes well for them in that regard. Anyways, moving on to the next. Okay. All right. So here's another one of how to get started with the anime and manga series that CBR does. This one's focusing on the anime and manga Tiger and Bunny. Tiger and Bunny, how to get started with the anime and manga. Now that Netflix is streaming season 2, it's the perfect time to get started with Tiger and Bunny. Here's what the popular series is all about. Article by Molly um, Kishikawa, published 10 hours ago. First airing in 2011. First airing in 2011, Tiger and Bunny made waves in the anime sphere for having characters who actively advertised real life companies. These companies would pay Sunrise, the production company, for a chance to have their brands represented by superheroes. Within the series, Pepsi, SoftBank, Domino's Pizza, and Bandai were just some of those that had their logos emblazoned on characters' costumes. And yes, that is true because I've seen the anime, and that's exactly what happened. While these logos would later be removed for streaming on Netflix and in the manga adaptation, the idea of superheroes acting as walking billboards for the companies was highly praised by critics. With season two's recent release, here's how newcomers can get started on the series. Directed by Keiichi Sato, Tiger and Bunny first aired on Tokyo MX on April 3rd, 2011. So basically, just a little over 11 years ago. 11 years ago yesterday. Well, no, a month ago, I guess. Um, the original concept for the series was imagined by producer Masayuki Ozaki. The screenplay was written by Masafumi Nishida, who would go on to work on Remain in 2021. And the characters were designed by Masakazu Katsura, a manga artist who has worked on titles like Video Girl I, Zetman, and the 2019 video game Astral Chain. The series would be picked up by Viz Media for simulcast on Hulu and Anime News Network before Netflix began streaming it. The plot of Tiger and Bunny. Hey Sakura, how you doing? Bleach live action was an Evangelion. Um, See, and there's Bunny there with the Bandai sponsorship, and then Tiger next to him with SoftBank. SoftBank is a bank over in Japan. It's a Japanese bank. So in case you didn't know that. Set in an alternate version of New York City called Sternbild City, um, Tiger and Bunny follows Kotetsu T. Kabaraki, a superhero who goes by the alias Wild Tiger, and his new partner, Barnaby Brooks Jr., alias Bunny. The two often butt heads because of their differing personalities and views on how a superhero should conduct themselves, especially when their actions are publicly broadcasted via TV show. Now imagine being a superhero in that situation, right? Where you're a walking billboard where everything you do is recorded on TV for the whole world for you to see. Imagine that. While the two slowly learn to get along and take down evildoers, they also try to unravel the murder of Barnaby's parents. Kotetsu is initially willing to help him solve the mystery, but begins feeling conflicted due to wanting to take care of his own daughter, Kaede. As if that weren't enough, a conspiracy against the superhero industry begins taking hold. So that's the gist of the that's basically the gist of the series. Let's see. Where to read the Tiger and Bunny manga, based on the hit anime series. Physical copies of the Tiger and Bunny manga can be bought through Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Books A Million, and Bookshop.org. They can also be picked up from Walmart or local comic shops with a manga selection. The average price for a single volume runs about $9.99, but Book Depository has them at for a slightly cheaper $7.88 on average. There's also a spin-off series called Tiger and Bunny: The Beginning, the 2 volumes, Side A and Side B, for $9.99. The original series has 9 volumes, but anthologies, 2 volumes combined into one, and are also available for $12.99. As of writing, there is no digital format available for the spin-off books. Where to watch Tiger and Bunny anime? Tiger and Bunny anime has Great American. Tiger and Bunny has great animation. Oh, animation. Okay. Each live action. Where to watch the Tiger and Bunny anime? The series is currently available on Netflix and Vudu for streaming. Blu-ray discs are available for purchase on Amazon or from Target, Walmart, or Best Buy for around $27.99, while the DVDs are about $17.99. Tiger and Bunny is also available there for digital purchase, with each episode running about $1.99 for standard definition and $2.99 for HD. The entire first season is $17.99 and $28.99 respectively. iTunes and Google Play also have it available for $28.99. The franchise has also seen 2 movies released so far. Tiger and Bunny: The Beginning can be bought from Amazon for around $19.99 for the Blu-ray DVD combo set, or for $24.98 from Target, Walmart, and Best Buy. The DVD runs about $19.98 on average. Prime Video has it available in HD for $3.99 for rental and $12.99 for purchase. The rental cost the same for the standard definition version, but purchasing is slightly cheaper at $9.99. The second film, Tiger and Bunny: The Rising, costs about $29.99 for the Blu-ray and $19.98 for the DVD and $12.99 for digital download, or $4.99 for rent on iTunes and Google Play. Amazon has a combo set available for $19.99 and the DVD for about $14.98. The movie is only available for purchase in SD or standard definition on Prime Video for $9.99 or HD for $12.99. There we go with that one. I think we've covered what, about 6 of the stories already. Let's see. Let's go back and remind myself real quick. Yeah, we covered 4 of the 6 stories thus far. We're gonna cover. So we got a couple more in anime, then we'll get into the comics portion of it. Here we go. Here's the next one. In the next anime story we'll cover. Ultraman's history is revealed in new Netflix retrospective video. Netflix offers fans of the Ultraman anime series a quick primer on the origins and history of the kaiju bashing cultural icon. Kaiju is, of course, another word in Japanese for giant monster, I believe. By Michael Cerna, published 8 hours ago. Netflix released a primer video about the origins of Ultraman. The new retrospective is primarily intended for new viewers or fans who got into the franchise because of the 2019 CG animated series, which released its second season last April. The video details the Giant of Light's origin story from the original live-action Ultraman show from 1966. It explains how the Galactic Protector of Justice became the partner of Shin Hayata, who would later become the father of Shinjiro Hayata, the protagonist of the anime and manga series. Since the 2019 anime is set in its own continuity, the video does not go discuss the other sequel series such as Ultra 7 or the upcoming Ultraman Decker, but it does touch upon into the series creation of Suburaya Productions, a special effects studio that created Ultraman as a way to bring Godzilla-style action to the small screen. Another look at the Ultraman primer there. Oh boy. All right, though. The CG animated series is based on the 2011 manga written by Eiichi Shimizu and drawn by Tomohiro Shimoguchi. Both the anime and manga serve as direct sequels to the classic 1966 live-action show. While it continues the story of the original show, it is set in a different continuity that ignores the events of all of the franchise's numerous other sequels and spin-offs. The first season of the series focused primarily on Shinjiro, a young man who was born with the ability to tap into Ultraman-like powers, thanks to his father's connection to the Giant of Light. Season 2 added multiple new heroes to the series roster in an homage to the franchise's original 6 Ultra Brothers crossover, which appeared in 1972's Ultraman 8 series. Shortly after season 2 was released, Netflix announced that the anime would return for a third and final season. A brief teaser trailer, which shows a battered Shinjiro in his Ultra suit, lying lifeless on the ground as other characters call out his name, was also shown. The third season is scheduled to premiere sometime in 2023. In addition to the new season of the anime, Ultraman fans will also soon be treated to the release of Shin Ultraman, the series' new theatrical reboot. The movie is being directed by Shinji Higuchi, who previously directed Shin Godzilla, and features a story written by Neon Genesis Evangelion creator Hideaki Anno. The movie is scheduled to be released in Japan on May 13th. Shimizu and Shimoguchi's original manga is available in English from Viz Media. Both seasons of the anime are now available for streaming on Netflix. There we go. So we have one more anime article to go through, and then we will move on to the comic stuff. Here we go with this one. Do 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 do. Oh, we're at the 52-minute mark now, so we're doing good on time, it would appear. Okay, so here's the last anime article of the night. So, My Hero Academia gets cute in new Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki art. Series creator Kohei Horikoshi shares new art of the series main trio as part of a new collaboration with the impossibly cute Shikawa manga. Article by Michael Lacerna, published 5 hours ago. Kohei Horikoshi shared some cute new My Hero Academia art. The new sketch was posted to the manga author's personal Twitter account and shows the series' central trio of aspiring heroes: the wholesome Izuku Deku Midoriya, temperamental Katsuki Bakugo, and the aloof Shoto Todoroki. Interacting with the cute animal mascots of Chikawa, a manga series by artist Nagano. Horikoshi drew the picture as part of the crossover between his shonen series and Nagano's cutesy comic strip, which is intended for younger audiences. Nagano's side of the collaboration, which features the characters of Chikawa cosplaying as My Hero Academia superheroes, appears in the latest issue of Jump Giga magazine, which was released in Japan on May 2nd, or actually it was Monday. So here's, I guess, the artwork they're talking about there. I believe that's Deku on the far left there, screen left, Bakugo in the center, and then Todoroki on the right, and then of course you got the little cat creature. I guess got a couple of little cat creatures peeking their heads in between the heads of the heroes. from the Chikawa strip, I guess. Anyways, before I continue on, I'm going to need to go off camera for a moment just to make some adjustments here. I'll be right back. I will leave you with some music to listen to as I'm away. And I'm back. Right, so continuing on here with the article. Tsukawa, originally titled Nanka Chisakute Hawaii Yatsu, literally translated as something small and cute, began with one-page comic shorts that Nagano published online through their Twitter account. The series became so popular that it was eventually collected and released in print. Chikawa recently released a collaboration with Sanrio and that company's beloved stable of similarly adorable mascot characters. An animated adaptation of the shorts is scheduled to premiere sometime this year. While everything's cheery for Deku and Horikoshi's new art, the idealistic young hero is currently facing down some of the biggest fights of his life in both the manga and the anime. In the manga, Deku is currently on his to his final on his to his I guess that's supposed to be on his way to his final confrontation with All For One. While the upcoming sixth season of the anime will adapt the explosive paranormal liberation war arc, which will feature the next long-awaited showdown between the hero and his rival, the newly power-boosted Tomura Shigaraki. The sixth season of the anime is scheduled to premiere sometime this fall. But attendees at this year's Hero Fest will get to watch the first episode of the season months before the rest will get to see it. My Hero Academia began its unique take on traditional superhero comics in Weekly Shonen Jump in 2014. The manga has become one of Shonen Jump's most popular, currently running series with 65 million copies in circulation worldwide. While the franchise best success of 2021's World Heroes Mission proved that Horikoshi's superhero epic is just as popular as it ever was, the author announced late last year that he was planning on concluding the story sometime before the end of 2022. The manga is currently on the series' final story arc. The first 5 seasons of My Hero Academia are available for streaming on Crunchyroll, with the original manga published in English by Viz Media. So there we go with that one. All right, so now we're going to be getting into the comic news. Got 5 stories there to go over. All right, and here's the first one we're going to look at. Okay, Marvel's classic Fun and Games magazine gets a modern paperback collection. Abrams Books publishes the Marvel Big Book of Fun and Games, which collects classic activities from Marvel's Fun and Games magazine. Article by Noah Mingans. Now it's one day ago. It was within a day when I first made the choice for using it. But anyways, Abrams Books has published Marvel Big Book of Fun and Games, a 144-page paperback. Let me just do something real quick here. Doing the comic stories now. Anyways, getting back to this, let's see. A 144-page paperback featuring a slew of classic activities originally published in Marvel's fan favorite Fun and Games magazine. The Marvel Big Book of Fun and Games is available for purchase as of today, May 3rd, which was actually yesterday, with a cover price of $14.99 USD. The paperback collection boasts over 100 activities, an introduction by former Marvel Comics editor-in-chief Roy Thomas, and cover art by Doley. The cover features a number of iconic Marvel superheroes, namely Spider-Man, Storm, Black Panther, the Falcon, Shang-Chi, Spider-Woman, and Wolverine. Additionally, a sneak peek within the book itself offers a preview of full-color activities starring the likes of Captain America, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Ant-Man, and Wasp, and more. All right. So there's Big Book of Fun and Games from Marvel. You got Storm, Black Panther right there. Look at all that stuff right there. And of course, there are other comic book companies that were doing stuff like this. As for those of you who've been with us on Friday nights and have seen some of the early comic books, they've had stuff like this in there as well. Or the ultimate fun-filled, full-color Marvel activity book for the whole family, featuring legendary superheroes and villains. An official synopsis for the activity book reads, quote, "Can you solve riddles with the genius of Iron Man? Spot the Invisible Woman before she disappears? Crack Nick Fury's secret codes?" Unquote. It continues, quote, "Hulk smash through every challenge and help your favorite Marvel characters conquer the most head-scratching, pulse-pounding puzzles and games in the multiverse. Journey through Doctor Strange's mystic maze, unscramble Spider-Man's word webs, weather storms fly through word searches faster than Falcon, and learn to conjure the Scarlet Witch. All you need is a pencil, featuring crosswords, mazes, word searches, trivia, drawing tutorials, connect the dots, and more from Marvel's Fun and Games magazine. This amazing compendium is a throwback to classic comics and an activity-packed adventure perfect for Marvel fans young and old. As I had mentioned previously. Marvel published the debut issue of Fun and Games magazine in June 1979. The Activity comic book series ran for exactly one calendar year, with its 13th and final issue hitting shelves in June 1980. The original Fun and Games series featured cover artwork by the late Owen McCarran, who also worked as an anchor on titles like Spidey, Super Stories, and Ghost Rider. The Marvel Big Book of Fun and Games is on sale now from Abrams Books. There we go with that one. Ready to move on to the next series as soon as we, of course, get rid of this thing. Ready to... And as always, guys, of course, feel free to, anything catches your interest, feel free to comment or ask questions as we go through this stuff. Todd McFarlane's scorched homages Jim Lee's iconic X-Men #1 cover. Todd McFarlane revealed the cover art for the upcoming Scorched #6, releasing on June 1st, which tributes Jim Lee's iconic X-Men #1 covers. Article by Brandon Schwer, published 12 hours ago. Todd McFarlane revealed the cover art for the Scorched #6, final of 4 covers that directly homages Jim Lee's iconic X-Men #1 covers. Scorched issues #3 through #6 connect to create stunning cover art that nods to Lee's X-Men #1 cover, which was released in 1991. With the Scorched #6, now mind you, I think that might be volume 2 or 3, because volume 1, X-Men, was probably all the way back in the 60s there. Okay, so with the Scorched #6 being the 4th and final in the cover series, this marks the first time McFarlane has drawn 4 cover connecting artwork during his career. The X-Men and Jim Lee's artwork to have inspired a whole generation of new comic book artists, and I wanted to tip my hat to Jim's enormous impact on our industry, quote unquote, McFarlane said. Quote, this marked the first time I have done any connecting covers, let alone 4 of them. I hope to keep reminding new customers that there was a time in the 1990s when our industry was near the zenith of excitement and innovative styles. Jim Lee was helping to lead that path, unquote. And here, of course, are the images that I guess they're talking about here. Spawn covers. The Scorched #1 launched in January 2022 and quickly set the sales record for the quote biggest new teen book unquote. Yeah, for the past 30 years, spinning off of the Spawn universe that McFarlane created when co-founding Image Comics, a group of superpowered heroes and villains featured on the covers include Spawn, Cygor, Overkill, Redeemer, Gunslinger, Haunt, Soul Crusher, Medieval Spawn, She Spawn, and more. The synopsis for The Scorch #6, which releases in June, reads, quote, there's a reason that only one Hellspawn is supposed to exist at a time. They're not meant to work alongside one another. Putting too many together is a recipe for disaster, as she spawn soon learns, unquote. The issue will also feature 2 alternative covers, one created by Bjorn Barons and another blank black sketch cover. Lee's X-Men #1 covers similarly features characters such as Wolverine, Beast, Storm, Cyclops, Colossus, Gambit, Rogue, and more Marvel heroes gathering to fight Magneto. In the issue, which Lee penciled and co-wrote with Chris Claremont, the X-Men attempt to stop their longtime nemesis from causing massive damage after Magneto raises a nuclear submarine. At the end of X-Men #1, Magneto declares Asteroid M, a space station orbiting Earth, as a safe haven for all mutants. Along with McFarlane, The Scorch #6 comes from writer Sean Lewis, artist Steven Segovia, and colorist Ulysses Ariola, with lettering by And World Design. The issue releases on June 1st from Image Comics, with a final order cutoff date of May 9th. So there we go with that one. I think just starting to get a little dimmer in here now, so I probably will need to more step away from the computer to where I can turn on the lights here. I'll be right back, but I'll leave you some music. All right, I'm back again, everybody. Let me try to do that real quick to get out of it. Eh, we're back. All right, so here we go. Let's continue on with the readings of the articles. Let's see, where are we at? Where? Oh, we're at an hour 22 already. Huh. Anyway, continuing on here. Jim Lee's epic Dark Crisis variant cover details and artwork revealed. DC unveils a first look at Jim Lee and Alex Sinclair's variant cover for Dark Crisis #1, which homages the iconic Crisis on Infinite Earths event. Article by Brennan Schwer, published 10 hours ago. DC has unveiled a first look at Jim Lee's epic Dark Crisis variant cover, which pays tribute to Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline. While the artwork is not yet final, Lee's Dark Crisis #1 variant nods to DC's iconic Crisis on Infinite Earths event, colored by Alex Sinclair. The open to order variant shows a number of characters within the DC universe, including Superman, Stargirl, Aquaman, Batgirl, Polka Dot Man, Cliff Steele, and more, jumping into action and saving the world from existential threats. DC previously announced that each Dark Crisis issue will feature a variant cover paying homage to the most monumental events in DC's publication history. Dark Crisis #7, the final issue in the series, will alternately feature an open to order George Perez birthday celebration variant cover, which was created by a multitude of different artists. The George Perez variant will also be available for purchase from the Hero Initiative, a nonprofit organization helping comic creators get the financial assistance they need to raise funds for one of Perez's favorite charities. Artwork and additional details on the other covers will be announced at a later date. Crisis on Infinite Earths, written by Marv Wolfman and penciled by Perez, was published in 1985. The monumental DC crossover storyline abandoned the DC multiverse and created a unified DC universe after the Anti-Monitor begins destroying various Earths. The series ends with Superman of Earth 2, Superboy Prime, and Alexander Luthor Jr. defeating the Anti-Monitor and the birth of a new singular Earth for DC characters to inhabit. Dark Crisis spins off the events of Justice League #75, which saw every member of the superhero team, apart from one, Black Adam, die at the hands Pariah and the Dark Army. Remaining DC heroes such as John Kent, Nightwing, and more must then pick up where the Justice League left off and defend the world from a host of incoming threats, including Deathstroke, Wade Wilson. The event kicks off in May with Dark Crisis number 0 for Free Comic Book Day special edition, and Justice League Road to Dark Crisis number 1, with Dark Crisis number 1 releasing in June. Along with the main Dark Crisis series, DC will also put out a number of Dark Crisis Worlds Without a Justice League one-shots and other Dark Crisis tie-ins during the following months. And we did see some of that yesterday, our coverage from yesterday. Let's see. All right, so let's see. The synopsis for Dark Crisis number 1 reads, quote, Crisis on Infinite Earths, Infinite Crisis, Final Crisis, and now Dark Crisis. The epic event, years in the making, is finally here. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the rest of the Justice League are dead. The remaining heroes are left to protect the world from an onslaught of violent attacks by DC's greatest heroes. Can the legacy heroes step out the shadows of the classic heroes to form a new Justice League? And will that be enough to stop a darkness greater than anything they've ever faced from destroying everything? Don't miss out on the first issue of the blockbuster event summer. Dark Crisis number 1 comes from writer Joshua Wilson, artist Daniel Sampier, colorist Alejandro Sanchez, and letterer Tom Napolitano. The issue releases on June 7th from DC. Alrighty then. There's that one. I think that marks the third of the 5 that we were doing, right? Yeah, third of the 5 we were doing for those. Here's the next one we'll do right here. Anyways, alright. We'll do that later. Anyways, I got slightly distracted there with some local stuff. Anyways, all right. So here's the next article we're going to look at. Oscar Isaac launches Kickstarter trailer for new graphic novel. Moon Knight actor Oscar Isaac teams up with Legendary Comics and Rocket Ship Entertainment to launch a new graphic novel, Head Wound Sparrow. Article by Brandon Schwer, published 7 hours ago. Moon Knight star Oscar Isaac, Legendary Comics, and Rocket Ship Entertainment have launched a Kickstarter and revealed a new trailer for an upcoming graphic novel. Um, Head Wound Sparrow. Um, Head Wound Sparrow. Head Wound Sparrow is a new graphic novel that Isaac developed alongside Jason Spire. The story comes from Robert Johnson and John Alvey, with New York Times best-selling author Brian Buccellato writing the project, and Christian Ward providing artwork. Legendary Comics released a trailer for the novel, which you can view below, that features narration from Isaac welcoming fans to this new and twisted neo-noir world. Here are some images to show the trailer there. Here are some images from the book. The synopsis for Head Wounds Sparrow reads, quote, tangled up in the battle between good and evil, a crooked Louisiana detective with a higher purpose must physically suffer the wounds of those he's sworn to protect until he brings their assailants to justice. No one would call Leo a good person, much less a good cop. But when his best friend is shot in front of him, he wakes up with a hole in his own head that only he can see, and a host of mysterious strangers calling on him for action. Most people go about their daily lives ignoring or unable to see the divine battle for good and evil raging around them. But it has just become very real for Leo. As angels and demons vie for the fate of humanity, he must choose a side or risk seeing everyone and everything he has ever known destroyed as the stakes get higher and higher. As Leo sees the true faces of the people around him, he must decide, will he do what's best for him alone or follow a higher purpose? For Isaac, working on Head Wound Sparrow was something of a passion project. Quote, I think there is something about this particular medium that allows such incredible world building and allows you to really express and juxtapose ideas that you can't in other mediums, unquote. He said, quote, marrying my love of comics with this specific form of storytelling, I am excited to bring Head Wound Sparrow to fans, unquote. Legendary Comics senior vice president and publisher Robert Napton said that the graphic novel blends together a number of different genres, providing fans with with a unique and thrilling experience. Quote, when Oscar, Jason, Robert, and John brought us the story of Head Wound Sparrow, I was immediately hooked by the mixture of grounded 70s cinema themes and fantastical elements, but at its core, this is a very personal and character driven story, unquote, he said. Quote, when Brian and Christian entered the mix, I knew we had put together the perfect team to bring Leo's journey to life, unquote. Rocket Ship Entertainment CEO Tom Akel agreed. Quote, we are excited to continue our partnership with Legendary Comics and present the fans um, a bespoke content offering that harnesses the vision of the Head Wounds team. Limited edition of Head Wound Sparrow and related exclusive items are available for pre-order on Kickstarter. The book's trade edition is set for release on August 9th. Alrighty then, there we go with that one. I think we have one more comics article to go through here. Yeah, this one right here. The last article we'll probably be reading tonight. Alright, so anyways, oh wow, we're at the hour 38 mark, so we're really making good time then. Alright, so Predator destroys Hulk, hunts the Avengers, X-Men, and more on Marvel variant series. Yantja hunters take on Marvel's finest heroes in the series of variant covers, celebrating the release of the company's new Predator series. Article by Jeremy Blum, published 7 hours ago. In celebration of the long-awaited release of Marvel's new Predator series, the deadly alien hunter is taking on various heroes from across the Marvel Universe in a series of striking variant covers. Since making its debut in the landmark 1987 film, the remorseless alien killer has invaded pop culture in film, comic books, video games, and more, unquote, Marvel said of the newly unveiled covers. Quote, now the Predator begins a new conquest in a comic series, launching this summer, capturing the horrifying, unforgiving nature of Predator with classic Marvel comic storytelling. These outstanding covers are sure to capture the imagination of both Marvel and Predator fans as they prepare for a launch of Predator #1. Here are some of the images for that. Some of the images of Predator taking on various Marvel heroes, I guess. And all those interesting covers there. The variants are drawn by a variety of comic book industry talent. They include a Captain America Sentinel of Liberty #2 cover by Iban Coelho, a Daredevil #2 cover by Bill Sienkiewicz, a Defenders Beyond #2 cover by Ron Lim, and a Fantastic Four 22 cover by Superlog. Additional creators include Jung-Gyung Yoon, Mirka Andolfo, Kyle Holtz, E.M. Gist, Mike Mayhew, James Stokoway, Gabriel Del Otto, Mattia de Lulis, Corey Smith, Juan Jose Rip, Kerry Nord, Chris Spouse, Dale Cohn, Bjorn Behrens, Humberto Ramos, and Raza. Amongst all of these variants, Predator can be seen duking it out with nearly every major Marvel hero from Blade to Spider-Man. In addition to these variants, a David Finch illustrated cover of Predator #1 was previously revealed last month, showing the Yachtja Hunter standing atop Avengers Mansion holding a decapitated head of Iron Man. Oh boy. Probably not a very fun thing to see. Several of these variant covers were originally intended for release in 2021, the year that Marvel's Predator #1 was initially scheduled to debut. The comic was delayed by approximately a year. During that time, the Walt Disney Company, Marvel's parent company, settled a copyright lawsuit with Jim and John Thomas, the screenwriters, between the original Predator film and the 1990 sequel. Written by Ed Brisson, from Deadpool, Black, White, and Blood, Sinister War, and penciled by Kev Walker, Savage Avengers, Timeless, Predator #1 does not appear to feature a Yachtja actually facing Marvel's finest superheroes. The issue instead features a story taking place in the near future centered on a woman named Theta, who aims to take revenge on a predator for slaughtering her family. Quote, I've been obsessed with Predator since first seeing the film at the drive-in theaters as a kid, unquote, Brisson previously said. Quote, I can still remember sitting there in horrified fascination and then acting out the movie for my classmates the following week at school. I brought the VHS and wore the hell out of the tape. Getting to write the character's launch for Marvel is a dream come true. When they offered me the gig, I already had a million ideas ready to go. Predator #1 goes on sale July 6th, so a couple months away here. All right, so there we go. So that's it for the articles then. Got some wrestling roundup news to do. All right, so we can go ahead and clear that out. All right, so we're at an hour 46 already, so we'll probably start wrapping up here pretty soon here. Just some quick little tidbits in regards to pro wrestling. The only reason I'm not running out get my dog right now. It's my sister's home, so she'd probably deal with it with her. All right. So, anyways, on the pro wrestling side of it, of course, we had some so WWE, some stuff going on. So this weekend's WrestleMania Backlash is primarily mostly just rematches from WrestleMania, but and no championships on the men's side of it. None of the men's championships will actually be defended. Originally, they were thinking of possibly having Roman Reigns defend the WWE, the Universal title against Drew McIntyre, and have a tag team unification match between the Raw tag team champions RK Bro and SmackDown tag team champions the Usos. But now it's what's they've set up for is the Bloodline, consisting of Roman Reigns and the Usos, taking on RK Bro and Drew McIntyre. At least the only title match that seems to be going on as far as I think the SmackDown women's title, in which Charlotte Flair apparently is defending that title against Ronda Rousey. I believe that's in an I Quit match. I previously stated that I think the Bianca Belair Sonya Deville match going to happen there too, but apparently that's not happening. They haven't talked about it much since. I'll be right back. I gotta check something real quick here. I'll turn the music on. All right, and yeah. So let's see some other news and some other WWE news. There's also some talk that they might be at least with Roman Reigns. I don't know if it's the entire Bloodline faction, but at least with Roman Reigns, there's some talk of possibly turning him face. And right now, it would appear that WWE creative just doesn't know what to do with him or with them as a whole. As they're not having any of the titles defended at the pay-per-view. Except for the women's title. It's just, but a lot of people are saying that they're just kind of packing this in basically, but just not putting the effort in to make this a good show. Among other news as well, the WWE side of it. So one of Liv Morgan's fans had a sign up supporting her and all that, but for whatever reason, WWE security had taken the sign away. And I think Liv Morgan had felt sorry for the fan, and she basically told him, in a very kind gesture, "Hey, look, next time we're in your area, let me know, and I'll get you some tickets." I think she was real flattered that the fan had the sign, and whatever the issue was with why they took the sign away from him, she offering to get him free tickets. So that seems to be. Anyways, moving on to AEW news. Now Dynamite is presently going on. I kind of told you guys last night all the stuff that was going to be going on Dynamite tonight for AEW, including basically a match to determine the undisputed Ring of Honor women's champion women's champion, as the Ring of Honor women's champion Deonna Purrazzo takes on the interim Ring of Honor women's champion Mercedes Martinez in basically a title unification match. You have two Owen Hart Foundation tournament qualifiers going on tonight. Ray Phoenix and Dante Martin in one match, and Bobby Fish and Jeff Hardy in the other match. Chris Jericho is facing off against Santana. Santana to get some revenge for his friend and buddy Eddie Kingston after last week. Chris Jericho threw a fireball in Eddie Kingston's face. Wardlow is taking on a mystery opponent selected by MJF. As Wardlow continues his march towards MJF. And of course, there was also a 6-man tag tonight between the Blackpool Combat Club, Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta, taking on members of the Andre Family Offices, or AFO, Butcher Blade, and Angelica. So, also, there's been some grumblings within, at least behind the scenes at AEW, as well as Ukes is coming out with a video game for them. Apparently, there's been some little dust up between AEW Vice President Kenny Omega and the people who are creating the games. There's some issues going on between them that's causing some friction there. But it does look like the game will be coming out, I believe, sometime by September of this year. And I've already mentioned that there'll be at least 50 stars in there. And among those include, of course, Owen Hart, who right now they're setting up a tournament for. And the main tournament will start next Wednesday. So 1 week from today, the main part of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament will be happening. Will start up. Also, of course, as I mentioned, at the end of the month here on the 29th, AEW will be having its Double or Nothing pay-per-view from Las Vegas. Already signed for that pay-per-view for the AEW World Championship. Hangman Adam Pearce will defend against CM Punk. AEW announced that they have a collaborative show set up for Sunday, June 26th with New Japan, called Forbidden Door. They'll be looking for that. So you'll probably start seeing more on AEW programming, whether it's on YouTube or on TBS or TNT. You'll probably be seeing more and more Japanese wrestlers here and there. So let's see. With that, that's a lot of that. With that, I think it's a good time to start winding down a little bit as we okay. So now it's probably a good time to start winding down a bit, as today is Wednesday, May the 4th, 2022. So why don't we go ahead and take a look back at this day in niche history. So, first off, we're going to head back 30 years ago today. As on this date, 30 years ago today, Golden Films produced a direct-to-video Beauty and the Beast film on this date back in 1990. 30 years ago today, Golden Films, Now, this is not to be confused with the Disney film of the same name at the same time. In fact, because of that, because Disney was doing their more of a theatrical film, while Golden Films was doing a direct to video release. Um, Disney was believing that because um, this was acting in direct competition to them because of the cheaper production value of Golden Films works. They actually tried to sue them, and Disney lost that suit. So on this day in 1992, 30 years ago today, um, Golden Films' Beauty and the Beast direct-to-video movie was released on this date back in 1992. So with that, we'll get ready to move on to the next piece in each history. As on this next day in each history, on this day in 2002, from Wembley Stadium in London, England, WWE held its Insurrection pay per view. This was the first WWE, what would eventually become WWE later in the year, the first WWE event promoted under a brand name, in this case, the Raw brand. This is also the last pay per view to be under the WWF initials, as Vince McMahon had chosen to drop the appeal of the usage of the WWF for for years. There had been a legal battle going on between the World Wrestling Federation and the World Wildlife Fund over the usage of the initials WWF for international marketing purposes. And the WWF, or as we know it now, the WWE, had actually appealed it, but then they decided to drop the appeal when they decided to change the name of the company after losing the case from WWF to WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. So this was the last pay-per-view under the WWF initials for the World Wrestling Entertainment. It was also the first pay-per-view to be promoted under the brand split, or the Raw brand. Now, the results from this show, of course, so on the show, saw Triple H defeat The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin defeat The Big Show with Ric Flair as special guest referee, Spike Dudley retaining the WWF European Championship over William Regal. The WWF Hardcore Championship was defended essentially 4 times that night, as in the scheduled match, I believe Booker T defeated Stevie Richards to become a hardcore champion. Then later in the show, in 3 seconds, Crash Holly defeated Booker T. In another 3 seconds, Booker T got the title back from Crash Holly, and Steven Richards beat Booker in 12 seconds. So, a women's tag match, Trish Stratus and Jacqueline did Molly Holly and Jazz. Rob Van Dam had defeated Eddie Guerrero via disqualification in an Intercontinental Championship title match. And the dark match saw, in one of his last appearances, I believe, with the WWF, Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig defeating Goldust. So, yes, Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig did go back briefly, I believe, in down 2003, sometime in there. So on this date, back in 2002, 20 years ago today, saw WWF hold an Insurrection pay-per-view from Wembley Stadium. And then um, one last piece of niche history to go through here. As on this date back in 2011, 11 years ago today, the fifth and final issue of Captain America Hail Hydra went on sale on this date from Marvel Comics on this date, 2011. Um, fifth and final issue of the Hail Hydra um, Captain America story here on sale on this date, written by Jonathan Mulberry. Ram Nolan did the art for this. Clayton Cowles did the lettering, with Ian Hanlon doing the coloring. So on this date in 2011, 11 years ago today, fifth and final issue of Captain America Hail Hydra went on sale on this date. So anyways, guys, I do thank you for being here tonight. Hope everybody had a good time. Hope you guys found the information in these articles interesting. Always feel free to comment and ask questions. If I can answer the questions, um, I'll do so. Anyways, guys, I will. And don't forget this Friday night, of course, is our weekly trip down Comics History Lane. With my co-host Fat Goat, we're starting our 1939 coverage, looking through. Well, we'll probably be reading primarily out of Action Comics Volume 1, Number 9, the Wanted Superman, and Part 2 of there's a continuation from the previous stories. Wanted Superman, for the Superman feature, and then for the Ted Thompson feature, Dr. Chung's Leap Army. So, I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow night. Bye.